with the temperature? Yep, okay. Excellent. Thanks for the thumbs up. Look how beautiful that one. I'm sorry? Oh, wow, that's awesome. So one of the other bushes that we have in the Sonora Desert is the sagebrush. It's usually the one that has the very faint green colored, almost grayish looking leaf. And the creosote and the sage are both healing plants to the Native Americans. They would make teas out of the leaves or the bark area. Oftentimes they will chew the leaves, primarily the leaves of the sagebrush, and then that will be a dressing for wounds of the skin. It has a healing property for skin irritation. But the sagebrush is also used as a sacred plant in healing ceremonies or spiritual ceremonies. They will actually make bundles of sage and then set those on fire, and the pleasant smelling smoke of the sage will clear the air. That is called smudging.
Call it the Canyon State. Canyon? Yeah.
Now, I-17, the freeway that we're on right now, is the only freeway that connects northern Arizona with the Phoenix metropolitan. And this freeway actually very closely follows the original stagecoach route that came from northern Arizona, from Flagstaff and Prescott, and went into Tucson. Now, in those early days, Phoenix was of no interest. Again, it was just a farming community. So I don't think the stagecoach stop there. Now, Bumblebee, however, over here was a stagecoach stop. In those early days, of course, the stagecoach was a public transportation, but it would take about 4 days to travel from northern Arizona all the way down to Tucson. And so the stagecoach stopped overnight at stagecoach stops, and Bumblebee was one of those stagecoach stops. So they would take care of the horses, take care of the travelers. Now the road here is obviously very steep and very curvy, and it was very, very difficult for the stagecoach when it was coming downhill to actually stop the horses. So the downhill traffic always had the right of way. So if you were coming uphill like we are doing right now, you would actually hear the stagecoach because the stagecoach driver was playing a horn, and then you would quickly step off the road because again that stagecoach was not able to stop, so you would have to make sure that you clear the road so that the stagecoach can get past you. In those days, of course, the road would have been very, very narrow and a dirt road.
It's like the only freeway is very narrow, like the whole state, the only one. The rest of the freeways is straight across. Yeah.
Now that stagecoach, of course, was also the way that the mail was transported throughout the state. So it would take a long time to write a letter and get it sent. If you wanted your letters to go a little bit quicker, you could hire the Pony Express. That was actually the first Federal Express, and that would have been the horseback riders that would ride their horses at a full gallop for about 3 hours, and then they would switch the mail over to a fresh horse and a new rider so that the mail could be delivered much more quickly. Now, every year they still do a reenactment of the Pony Express in Scottsdale. In fact, they have 200 riders start up north in Holbrook, that is just outside of Flagstaff, and they bring down 200,000 letters during the Parada del Sol. Now, up here on the left side, that saguaro cactus, that is the last one you'll see for the rest of the day, because remember, saguaros only grow in the Sonoran Desert, and we are leaving the desert region. So when we get to the top of the hill here, you'll notice that the landscape will have changed quite dramatically. We're going into what is referred to as the High Chaparral. This is a plains and grassland area.
That's where winter begins. The ground is still kind of yellow, the ground.
Alright, so this is our High Chaparral. So this is all grassland and plains up here. And much of this land that we're driving through right now is state trust land. In fact, only 18% of our state, so a very, very small percentage of our